Well now, this is a little earlier than I actually planned on starting this. I was actually just going to wait till 9 o'clock since that's when I had myself scheduled to do this, but I just decided, what the hell, I'll start this a couple of minutes early, so killing the music, and let's get on to streaming properly. By the way, I should just let anyone who's watching this know the current overlay I'm using is a bit of an experiment, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work out, and I'm going to need some feedback on that. I'm open to changing this. This is just basically something I threw together using player.me, so it might not end up working out all that well. In any case, let's get into this, and just to remind you of this fact, I do have to Alt-Tab out to check the chat, so if I don't respond for a little while, that will be why. Load my campaign. As Dyflin, aka the Viking Sea Kings. And as I was saying in the chat, I have just basically gobbled up the whole of Laigin / Leinster. At this moment in time, they have one minor settlement left, which that minor settlement has only stuck around as long as it has, because of the very simple fact that none of my armies had the movement range to reach them in the previous turn. Because Leinster kindly decided to take their entire army and sail it off for Wales, because they're at war with Gwynedd, that Welsh faction in the white there, that I'm mousing over right now. So they decided to go off and have their little war there. So that whatever army they did have is either one in the middle of the sea, or two on the Welsh mainland. And very soon they're going to start going into Attritionville, when I take their last settlement and they have no food production left. Okay, game, if you would care to load for me? Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love Total War campaigns, but the load times in some of them can be a bit of a pain, I have to admit. That does tend to annoy me a little bit. Let's see, Cluan Moor. There. Our army here, the Riders of the Bifrost, are just out of movement range. As are our friends up here in the provincial capital of Nass. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move one of these armies. Let's see. The Thunder Swords up here. It's autumn. We'll move this army down into their territory from Nass, and then I will take their final settlement and remove that army's ability to produce food, hopefully, in the next turn. Oh wait, they have no food production left. Looks like, because that minor settlement doesn't produce food. It's a mine. It produces iron. So wherever their army is hanging out, it's enjoying some lack of ability to produce food. And Laigin, it appears, has decided to move into Wales. And I don't think this is actually going to work out for me, but after I take that settlement from them, I am going to see if I can't get peace on the grounds that I own so much of their land. I would even be willing to consider paying them a little money, and that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm going to be honest, the only reason I'm contemplating making peace with them is because it would remove the potential threat of their armies sometime down the line deciding to sail back to Ireland and start retaking our territories if we happen to end up in a major war with another faction, which we almost certainly will. Because after I finish them off on mainland Ireland, I'm thinking we're going to send our forces north, and we'll be going up against either Mead or Ergala. I'm not sure which at this moment in time, but those two are the most likely targets. That would be minus 15 food production. Our food surplus is going down now. When did that happen? I'm fairly certain it was like positive 20 or something the last time we loaded the game. Must have been some nerf to that in a recent update, which is annoying. I wish that wouldn't happen, but we are 2 turns away from getting an additional 45 food production, and I can upgrade in our food production in a couple of other locations, which I'm going to do. We'll get another... Hang on. Okay, I think I'm back now. Of course, I may get randomly interrupted for no apparent reason. I'm sorry about this, but as anyone who's watched my stuff for a while will know, this is one of the drawbacks of living with the parents, or father in my case. He loves to interrupt me and does not get video games, or why I like playing them for other people. But Yeah, we'll be getting some more food production in a bit. But that does mean I can't produce additional units for this army like I'd planned. So now, I think those few moves are all I can pull off this turn. I'm gonna end it. And then we'll capture that settlement and attempt to make peace. I don't think it'll work, but I want to give it a try. To see if Laigin will be willing to accept me basically moving into their territories in Ireland and them moving to Wales. As you can see, a lot of the British Isles are a mystery to me right now. And I'm pretty fine with that, because, to be perfectly honest, during this campaign, likely the only thing I'm really going to care about is going to be Ireland, because that's the stated goal I have for myself, become King of Ireland. Someone is working against me, so we have the money, I'm just going to pay them off. No thanks. I'll just take the last settlement over here. That's mine now. Plus to our food. We're positive 2 now. How's Laigin doing? Actually, the strategic map is probably a better bet for seeing that. Oh. And Serene Doge, thank you for the host. I do appreciate it. Oh, how have I been? I've been fairly good, actually. I just took Laigin's last settlement in Ireland off of them. Meaning, and this may require a bit of background information. I'm not sure if you saw the earlier chat information, but what happened during my last session, which the last 2 in this game were on YouTube, because that's where I resumed my streaming at before I decided to move here. Laigin here, which owned the province of Laigin, obviously, this area right here, they owned that. Then they decided to declare war on some guy over in Wales. I'd have to actually check who they're at war with again to know that, but they went to war with someone in Wales and moved their entire army from their mainland over to Wales, which I then took advantage of to basically sweep in and conquer their entire home territory. So now they're stuck over in Wales and I hold their homeland. I don't think it'll work out for me, but I am going to, if I can, let's see, they hold 2 things right now. Neither of which are major settlements. And the one we can see is not a food producer, so I don't know if they're taking attrition or not. But what I'm going to attempt to do with Laigin is, shocking as this may be, I'm actually going to try and make peace.
Your presence is unwelcome, so let's get down to it.
They consider it extremely generous. They won't become my vassal kingdom, though. But let's see if we can't get a little money out of them. I mean, not that I need money right now, but it would be nice. 2,000 is insulting. 1,100 is insulting. 700? Let's see, 500 maybe? That's intriguing.
Keep your filthy.
Okay, let's try that again. Payments 300.
Probably worse.
We got a bit of money out of it, and we are no longer at war with Laigin, who are currently at war with the Welsh kingdoms of Gwynedd and Powys. Not a good state for them to be in, considering last I saw, they had command of a single army, and currently hold no large cities. We get more tribute now. Hooray for that. We're upgrading our thrall market for public order and some other such things. Details on our governor. Let's see. The province is -4. What is this from? Mainly it's from our buildings. We need to stop upgrading mines and things. Laigin down here also has a public order penalty, but that's mainly due to occupation. The fact that we have recently conquered them, they're not too pleased about being conquered by us.
You can rely on us.
But for the moment, we have rather a lot of money to play with. It's a shame we don't have the food to go with it, or I would start upgrading the army by giving one of them more troops. We could build a tithe barn. Unfortunately, that would lower the public order by 1. Actually, the public order in this province isn't that bad. -1 is fine, really. So we can afford to have it go down a little bit. Let's see. The woodcutter can become a logging camp, so we make even more money. And I think that'll do it for the time being. Now, as soon as I'm able, and once we get the public order situation sorted, I'm going to start moving both armies north. And hopefully upgrade them once we have the money, and hopefully give them more troops once we have the money. Because I need to start making plans for a war with one of my neighbors. Because we are the motherfucking Vikings. We invade everyone, right? Modded sea cake too, you say, Crusader? And sorry for not replying sooner, but like I said, I have to Alt-Tab to check the chat, and that just slips my mind from time to time, when I really get into what I'm playing. Yeah, I have a campaign of Crusader Kings 2 I'm actually doing on the old Let's Play channel over on YouTube, but it's on hold at the moment. because I'm trying, when I can, to sort of cycle through Let's Plays so I have some new stuff going on all the time. And of course, I upload the VODs from this channel on my YouTube channel so that they're actually there. Which is a damn good thing, because otherwise I would have lost a couple of my Darkest Dungeons and Tale of Two Wastelands videos a while back, when Twitch screwed up. Okay, I should probably explain that Twitch screwed up one in a minute. A couple of guys over in Scotland have gone to war. I care about that not at all, because they're Scottish, we're Irish. Granted, we're also Vikings, but we're still Irish. Our research into melee specialists has finished, unlocking shield biters. Let's check the research tree. Is there anything else I can look into? There's offensive tactics for more melee skill for our sword and axe infantry. And that's it. Builder upgrade within the granity or the subterranean chains. I don't know what that is. Forge or blacksmith chains. Builder upgrade within the garrison chain. Monastery and market hall. So we just have to upgrade some buildings to unlock those. I have 7 out of 10 for spearmen. We're working on that. We need one more unit of archers before we can research this and get more ammunition and missile damage for our archers. I mean, we are Vikings, so archers aren't exactly going to be a major focus, but they would be nice to have. 4 more siege battles needed, and we're nowhere close for cavalry. Yeah, see ya. Sorry about that. You may have heard dear old Dad shouting. And just now, he does that sometimes. Just decides he needs to tell me some stuff. I put up with it. Even if he is one of those people who doesn't get video games. Like, I don't know why he has to get on me about it so much, though. I don't spend every waking moment telling him math's the spawn of Satan or anything. Or complain about him constantly asking me to help him with his latest construction projects. Yeesh. Oh well. The price I pay for having free housing, I guess. Well, that and my shit internet. Which I would very much like an upgrade to. Shield effectiveness, I could do, but I don't know. Let's see. Archers and spearmen are my next focus for research, I think, but for now, we're just going to go for offensive tactics for this moment in time. And yeah, feel free to lurk. Let me see here.
We'll see this through. Hurry along. To war we go. Now we'll see. Onward to glory.
And for now, we're going to start moving both our armies to the north, because the two factions I'm considering a war with next are both located northwards. And the governor of our little Scottish island needs an upgrade. Let's see, what do we give this guy? I think scribe. More tax, and he can govern better. Seems better. I mean, this is a governor we're talking about, after all. And a couple of our buildings have come through now, it looks like. We're producing a bit more food. I'm going to upgrade this one more level, so we're producing even more food. Now, up in Dublin. One of the minor settlements could be upgraded, or we get a better Viking port. I'm not going to upgrade any of the buildings that need better food, that need our food production right now. Not just yet, anyways. And I'm holding off on the iron smelter, since right now Dublin is still -2 on public order. Something we're dealing with, but it'll take some time. I'll just upgrade this guy to cattle pens. Get as much excess food as we can so we can start upgrading the army wherever and whenever possible. So, Crusader, how's your day been? What have you been up to? I've mostly been playing this and watching random YouTube videos, as I have a tendency to do. Mostly Dungeons and Dragons related YouTube videos at that. Let's see, where is my other army now? I said the town, not hang out at sea. Let me see. This army, we have no more bow infantry we can recruit right now. We're just straight up out of them. I'll recruit some spear herdmen now to bolster this force. And now they'll spend their time mustering up. By the way, I mentioned this on the YouTube stream, but I really like the whole mustering mechanic. It's one that I am quite fond of, especially seeing as it's something that's quite historically accurate. Like, if you think about the idea of how armies worked in the Middle Ages, they weren't. Standing armies were generally not a thing. The armies were the peasants of the local lords who would just basically be called to serve in the armed forces of their liege lord, who would then take those forces to his liege lord, and so on, and then the army would slowly assemble over time, and it would take a while. I mean, not as long as is portrayed in this game, where assembling your forces to full strength takes years, but it did take a long time. Because, think about it this way, in the perspective, because they had to basically march or ride on horseback everywhere, and that took a while. War declared, Laigin and Gwynedd over there have made peace. Let's have a look at Laigin. How are they doing? They still only have their 2 settlements. There are a couple of rebel places. There are a couple of rebel settlements nearby that they could potentially take, but But they don't really have settlements right now. Someone has low loyalty. Sigritor here. Where are you located? Actually, let's check out the estates. How many are held by the king? Just the 2. For whatever reason, this guy has very low loyalty. I'd like to know what he's doing right now. Let's check out my governors. Is he governing anywhere? I guess he is. He has very low loyalty, apparently. I would like to know where you are governing, sir. Where are you hanging out? Okay, let's see. You, sir, have crap loyalty. And you're bad at everything. For some reason, you're apparently governing an estate somewhere. He's governing that place right there. Further south, like. So yes, I think we're going to have to do something here. We could spend money to bribe him into being loyal. Or try and find him a wife. And hope that that wife would keep him loyal. Well, finding him a wife is cheaper. And would not cost most of my money, unlike that. So we'll try and find him a wife. Yes, I think so. That did jack shit for his loyalty, apparently. I swear, if you rebel after I just spent the money to get you a wife, I will be so pissed. For now, this army can move to Dublin. This one can move to Glon, whatever. Let's see, we have a total of 12 food left. I'm going to get one more unit of spearmen. That'll leave us with a surplus of 2 food. Oh, come on! Surely that should have been enough spearmen to unlock this. Apparently we need one more. Ah, well. But yeah, this place, its public order will improve in a bit. It's just dealing with the fact that we recently occupied them, and no one likes to be conquered. And apparently there's 2 more viewers turned up when I wasn't looking, so hello to the both of you. Thank you for turning up to my stream. It's been a while since I was doing the whole live streaming thing, and I appreciate the company. We're gonna end the turn now. I'll try to remember to check the chat and everything. So, how's everyone's day been, and what kind of things have you been doing? I've honestly not been doing a whole lot, despite the fact that I woke up what some people consider to be super early, i.e. at about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because yes, I live on the east coast of America, which is really weird because everyone calls Europe and stuff the West, and it borders the east coast of America, whereas Asia, the actual proper quote-unquote east, is bordering the west coast. It's super bizarre. Then again, stuff like remembering which way is east and which is west on the map, and time zones and things, has never been something I'm very good at, honestly. Some faction I have never heard of has been wiped out. It looks like our leader has gained the seaman trait. Oh. What is it with people just popping in and vanishing? Well, honestly, I'm just glad anyone's bothering to turn up to this stream. I do appreciate it. We don't quite have the range to make it there, and that would piss people off because we'd be going through the territory of a different faction to get there. I'll leave you there for now. Or will I? This army will be fully replenished next turn. Our southern army here can move up to Dublin. And I'm going to get, let's see. I would like to get that, but that'll put us into negative food production. Let's check out the stats on these guys. I think I want more axemen. We'll grab a unit of shield biters. We're down to 2 for food production again. I'm basically skirting the line with my food production right now. And we still have this low loyalty issue, so I think I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and just bribe the bastard. So here, have 2,200. That was a lot of money to stop him from potentially revolting against us and taking a minor town with him, but I do not want to have to deal with an insurrection right now. I would really rather not. But on the plus side, we will have most of that money back by the time the next turn rolls around. So that is a very positive thing indeed. By the way, Cool Crusader, if you're still watching this, there's something I want to know. I've kind of been wondering about this. The overlay for this stream it's just sort of something I threw together haphazardly using some website I found. Let's see if I can remember the bloody name. Player.me. Yeah, it was the Player.me overlay editor I used for it. What do you think of it? Does it work? Or should I go back to the drawing board with it and try and find something more suitable? That's what I'm wondering. How is the overlay, and does it need any refinement? Because right now, I'm just sort of flying blind with that sort of thing, and I'd like to get some outside feedback on it. Another faction is destroyed. Yet another faction is destroyed. That's a lot of factions being destroyed. We are having some shit luck with our livestock. -2 public order everywhere, and we make less money off of farms. More declarations of war, this time over in central England. But now, let's have a look at the strategic map. Actually, the diplomatic map would have probably been the better bet. Let's go for that and see who everyone's at war with. Let's see, Mead is not at war with anyone. We don't really have an idea where their armies are. Well, they're at war with Ulaid over here. Do they have anything else going on? Eilek. Where is that again? Ah, all the way up there. The two of them have a defensive pact, and Mead has destroyed the one person they are at war with, unfortunately. I was hoping they would lose that war. To a degree. So, Argyle, up here, they are at war with Connacht, to whom they don't have a land border, and they have no friends. Also seemingly have only a singular army lying around. So I think they make for an ideal first target. Speaking of which, what do you guys think of us? They're very friendly, but it's deteriorating for some reason.
My halls are enriched by your visit. Take a seat.
Okay. They don't... Who are these guys? That's what I want to know. They're very Irish. There's that. Huh. I don't know.
You're here now, so spit it out.
Nothing we can do with them.
More mead. Fine talk will follow.
Okay, it might have been better to go after these guys in the south, actually. For some reason, I thought they were Vikings,
Not possible.
and didn't want to kill them as a result. So, should I stick to my guns and go after our friends in the north? In Argyle here, or turn around and conquer a couple of the really weak-looking minor factions south of us? That's what I'm wondering right now. Do we turn around or stick to our guns? I'm tempted to just stick to our guns, because it would probably be a lot more interesting to be going after these guys. That said, they do have a single, rather large army sitting in this one settlement. Maybe we should hang on a second, everybody. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, now I'm really annoyed. That was quite literally a bullshit auto insurance spam call. My phone rang, as you probably heard. I picked it up, and some asshole was trying to sell me crap auto insurance from some service or other. Ugh. Don't you just love those calls? Right up there with, "This is the return call you have requested." It's wonderful, isn't it, to have your time wasted with crap like that? Don't you just love that? And I'm ranting now, I do realize that. Ranty McRant. It tends to happen when things annoy me. But as I was saying, I'm of two minds right now as to what to do. Either we take both armies north as I'd planned, and basically try and wage war against Argyle, or I go south again and finish off a few of these 2 or 3 minor factions before we either turn north or reassess. That's what I'm thinking right now. So, if anyone's actually watching this, I'm actually not that good at reading the displays on the Twitch dashboard, because sometimes it'll say there are viewers when there aren't for me, and sometimes it will say there aren't when there are, so I'm not really sure. So if anyone's seeing this, I would appreciate some input on that. Either I attack Argyle and keep going north, or my armies just turn around and we deal with these couple of guys. The advantage to going north is it would probably be a little more interesting to fight these guys, since they are an established faction right now, with something resembling power. On the flip side, taking out Vesforger here, and then attacking a couple of other factions here by sea would make things interesting. Or possibly Osraige. Attacking some of the more southern guys would probably be easier and provide less of a challenge. So if I want secure expansion, that would be the thing to go for. If you want to share your thoughts, go ahead, because I'm just kind of flailing right now, trying to decide if I should or not. For now, I'll just look at things to upgrade, and since we're having that issue with our farms due to that one event, I'm going to upgrade our fishing, because that's one way to get food that has not been affected by that bad event of cattle dying and shit. Not that I'm going to stop upgrading our cattle, mind you, because more food and all. And even if it is half as much money, it's still money. And money is good. Let's see. Osraige here. What have they got? Let's see, that's one minor settlement there, one big city, and another minor settlement. Maybe go after Osraige instead. I'm thinking they might be a good pick for this, Osraige. I could really just attack them. Let's have a look at their territory on the strategic map. Easier to see that way. So yes, Osraige. That's the province of Osraige. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 places they own. I have 3 I can and see at the moment. Kelconning here, Akandbo, Saiger are the 3 I can see at the moment, which according to this map is the extent of their territory, but that's apparently not the case. But yes, we're going to do a slight 180 and go after Osraige instead, I think. Our smaller army, I'm going to camp down here at that border. Oh, I honestly... That's another case of me being new at this game. I don't realize when I'm doing stupid things, like moving an army through snowy areas during the winter, for instance. And not remembering to have enough action points left to fortify our position. So they're going to take a bit of attrition. And this army will camp on the border near Akandbo. I'll wait for that one to get down here, and these guys are actually probably going to stay in Cluanmore for a while, because I want them at full strength, and I want to be able to recruit another unit or 2 of soldiers to the army. That's what I'm thinking of at the moment. Well, I think I've done everything I can for this turn, so let's end it. I can put up with a tiny bit of attrition because of my stupidity. For the moment, I think this campaign's going alright. I was honestly kind of worried when I started it, just because it's a new Total War game that I've never played before, and I've, in the past, not done too well at my first attempts at Total War games. And in fact, despite the fact that I do love playing these games, I'm generally not that good at it. Because I'll screw up something without realizing I've screwed it up. Several times, in fact. We have damaged buildings somewhere. Yeah, our cattle farms have taken some damage. Just there. Hopefully it actually repairs by next turn, not just in 3 turns. But we have a bit of a food shortage problem now. Offensive tactics is done. More people are at war. The names sound vaguely Scottish to me, so I'm guessing that's what they are. Now we're going to research trained fighters and unlock Eastman Herdman for our elite sword infantry.
Enemy blood will flow. March on.
This army can hang out in Cluain Moor. We have quite a bit of food stored up at the moment, so we'll deal with that readily enough.
We'll see this through.
Now, the question is, do I have anything else I can build? And I want to. I'm avoiding building those because that will cut into my public order some more, and Dublin has a small public order problem already. Well, we'll upgrade the harbor in Dublin here to a Viking port. It's rather expensive, and it will take a long time, but that's going to boost our fame, income, as well as armor and weapons. Oh, Green Side of Hell, hello. As for what is needed to play this game, well, I'm not totally sure of the exact specs that your PC needs to have. They should have them at the bottom of the Steam page, but just to give you an idea, the computer that I'm running this on has an AMD FX 6300 CPU, and I'm running an XFX RX 470 AMD graphics card. And I have 16 gigs of RAM. That's what I'm using, but I don't remember the exact specs, but it's nothing too grand that you really need. That said, I'm not running it on the highest graphical settings. Here, I'll show you my settings. 2x anti-aliasing, ultra textures, 4x anthropic texture filtering, high shadows, water, and sky, no depth of field, high all this stuff down there, ultra unit side, is proximity fading, distortion effects, and VSync. I generally tend to lower anti-aliasing and texture filtering in this sort of game because my computer does not like them very much. And I can get some frame drop as a result. But that's what I use. If you want to know the official specifications, just search for Thrones of Britannia on Steam, and you can find them at the bottom of the page. But But yeah, I hope that my sort of vague, rambly explanation of what I use sort of helped. And thank you for turning up. I do appreciate the company. Yes, the Irish mustache of mustachiness. By the way, are you talking about a character in-game or me? I'm not entirely sure about that. Because I'm most definitely not Irish. Though I think my grandmother was either part Irish or part Scottish. I don't remember. I hear my dad talking on and off about stuff like that sometimes. So, you know, get it mixed up. And our old friends Laigin, over there, who moved in Wales and then made peace with us, have been annihilated. Have fun with that. The logging camp is done. We fixed up our farm that got bashed to pieces. Oh, DLC. Actually, this game hasn't been out that long. I think it came out. Hang on a second as I alt tab to check the date and stuff. The game itself was actually released. Give me a second here. It was released as of today a week and 4 days ago. There is, as of me streaming this, currently no DLC. Of course, that's not to say there won't be DLC in the future, but there is not at this moment in time. It did release with a DLC button on the main screen, but there isn't any yet. We can recruit one more archer now. That'll take what's left of our current food supply, and I'm going to do that. What's our public order here? We've gotten to 7 public order in Laigin, so I'm going to take the opportunity to upgrade the Grange here to a tithe barn. It will reduce the public order in the province by 1, but increase our food production by a massive 30, as well as give us 20% income on the farm. An additional turn holdout time in case the province ever comes under siege, and 5 supplies for our armies. I'd say it's worth it. It'll be done next turn. Sorry, did I say next turn? I meant in 4 turns. I have no idea where that next turn thing came from. Dear God. This army can now start camping on the border there. I'll just put them in fortified stance when it comes to winter, as their first target is going to be that settlement there. They're a single turn away from it. I think having a size 17 army, that's nearly a full stack there, will be nice. And I'm going to take the couple of turns that we need once we get the food supplies to recruit a few more units into this army and bolster its strength before we attack. Yeah, I'm not that fond of the whole way they do DLC in general myself. Just because a lot of it so far has seemed to be just unlocking factions that are in the base game, which is a bit of a pain, I will admit. I don't like having factions that already exist sold as DLC. If they were introducing new ones that weren't in the game before, that would be fine, but it generally kind of annoys me the way things currently are. I am not happy in the slightest about that whole thing. Let's see. By the way, since you're here, I want to give you the opportunity to do something. I have 2 armies in the field right now. We have the Riders of the Bifrost and the Thunder Swords. Those are my 2 armies at the moment. Once I get the Riders of the Bifrost up to sufficient strength, I am going to launch my war against Osraige here. Would you like to rename either of my armies? If you want to change the name of one of them, just suggest a name in the chat, and I'll consider it. And I will probably do it. Just because anyone else's names is probably better than my attempts at them, which is the very same reason why I tend to keep the names that are generated by default. And also, I'm just wondering what you think. Yeah, I'm just wondering what you think about my stream overlay right now, because that's a new thing at the moment. I just sort of added it very, very last minute, so I'm not sure how good or otherwise it is. So just let me know what you think about it, if you have any opinion on it. I mean, I know some people just don't give a damn about the overlay as long as the game's okay. So, there's that. It's just one of those things I think of literally as I'm streaming and feel the need to throw out there just in case. But while we're waiting for additional food production to come in, and that reminds me I should check on this island. Still 5 turns to go. Dyflin's Great Thrall Market is upgraded as far as it's going to. How are you guys? Once that event we had wears off, our public order there should be positive. And in 3 turns, we'll have a boatload more food. So I'm ending the turn now. We have one guy who has low loyalty. I'm going to have to pay him off. I know it. I just know I'm going to have to pay that bastard off. Just to prevent a civil war during my invasion of Osraige or something just as ridiculous. It's going to be such a pain that I have to spend a bunch of money on crap like that. I seriously wish that the game would give me some sort of indication of why these people are low on public order. When I hover over, like, you know how the public order for the provinces, when you hover over the number, it tells you what's resulting in that? Classic Viking. So he wants a declaration of friendship. Well, yes, we share cultures, so it makes sense to be friends. It looks like one of Northumbria's vassals is trying to declare independence, is what I'm getting out of that. Yeah, as I was saying about the loyalty, what I would really like is more the reason why he's disloyal here. I mean, I know why he's loyal, but what about the contributing factors to why he is not more loyal, as opposed to just why he's as loyal as he is? That would be nice. Yeah, honestly, the main reason probably why the overlay is so blurry is that I am streaming this at 480p. My internet connection is not all that strong, so this is the best I can manage. Like, in future, I'm probably going to try speaking to my father about getting a slightly faster connection. We can't manage much of a faster connection, owing to where we live, but I could probably get maybe an additional 1 to 2 megabits per second upload if we pushed it. thing is, though, he doesn't really get video games or live streams or let's playing, so he might just say no because he doesn't think it's necessary. Of course, I could always just tweak the overlay a little bit. And like I was saying, any interest in naming one of the armies? You can if you like. I don't mind. Anyways, you can, I think, literally stand at that bridge, and I'm going to fortify you. We don't have the food we need to recruit anyone, so you can just stand there fortified. They've brought us 15 army up there to defend. I think these guys have cottoned on to the fact that I'm planning to invade them. Which, to be fair, it's not exactly a hard thing to figure out, now is it? Let's see here. Mr. Low Loyalty. Have some money. And be more loyal. Thank you so much. Anyone who ever said that loyalty is never for sale has obviously never played this game. Because their loyalty is very obviously for sale. All the damn time. How much is your loyalty worth? Oh, 1,300 gold seems about the right price. Here, have 1,300 then. How much is your loyalty worth, other person I bribed earlier? Well, I'd say just over 2,000 gold. Fine, have your damn money. That seems to be about how things are going lately. Let's see. What upgrade do we make? I'll take the... Actually, Laigin is fine for public order right now. What do we do? That would be -5 to food, but give us a bunch of basically everything. Including replenishment chance of units. I'd like to do that, but we need more food first. And nearly all our food is going to the army at this moment in time. Let's see here. This place is getting an upgrade, I think. And that's all we can do this turn, because I'm waiting for my food to finish being produced, so I can do that. Okay. Let's see. And I didn't notice everyone that was in here before because I wasn't looking at the viewer list, so I just want to say quick hello to Chukima Theus98, sorry if I mispronounced that, Electrical on Gboard, and Midas CZ. Hello and welcome to the Thrones of Britannia stream. I'm going to try to do this on Mondays when I can, but I can't always guarantee it for Mondays. Especially not next week. West Morignas has been destroyed. Ivar here has become influential. That's the governor of this here island. Construction of a cattle pen is done, so we have what we need to recruit one more unit into our forces. This here governor, it looks like, which for some reason I've given him military traits instead of civil ones. I don't know why I did that. There. Brega has low public order now. I'm going to once again spend some money on upgrading a farm. We'll be getting another farm next turn, so that's obviously nice. And they have this. Who is this? One of the neighbors is obviously interested in going after them. It's winter, so what I'm going to do is next season we'll go straight for those towns. How much movement do we need to change into the forced march stance is what I want to know. So we'll just pop outside the settlement. I need 50% remaining. So about there is the limit of what we can do. Stick you into forced march. As soon as we can, I want to go for those two settlements. Someone is invading them, and unless they get it out of this somehow, I am going to have to get as much territory as I can off of Osraige before they fall. And that's my attempt. Right here. So just grab what I can, basically. That's the smaller army right here. We need to get something. I'm going to recruit some cavalry into this army. There goes our food production for this turn. We'll have some more next turn if I remember rightly though, so let's end the turn. A lot of factions are doing a whole lot of nothing. Frankly, I'm not sure if I want those guys to succeed or fail. On the one hand, if they succeed, Osraige will be a lot weaker. On the other, if they succeed, there will be less of Osraige's territory we can take off them. And they did succeed. So we just have to deal with it, it looks like. Protect our brethren or conquer them. Where is this? The dominance of our kin on the coastline has been declined. Many of the ports have been occupied by the native Gauls. We need to do something about it. I'm going to... Let's see. If we say conquer them, will that lead to a war? If it does, I'm going to have to abandon Osraige to fight in the south. But, okay. If anyone wants to pipe up on which approach you think I should take, now's the time. Do we protect our brethren or conquer them? Bearing in mind that conquering them may lead to a war on our southern border and result in us having to abandon Osraige to its fate and getting none of their territories out of it. Keep that in mind. So, thoughts on this? Do we protect our brethren or conquer them? Just let me know what you think on this. And if no one has any thoughts on it, I will probably pick randomly, because that's the shit I seem to do. Let's see. There's not really a whole lot more I can discuss on the subject, seeing as that's really all the considerations I have right now. Do we want a potential war, or do we want to pursue our current objective? Influence, you say? So don't go for conquer them. I see. And if you don't mind me asking, why is that? Any particular reason for this, or you just think more influence would be better than an additional province or two? Because I can see where you're coming from. It might cut down on the number of disloyal characters in my court that seem to be popping up like rabbits. So I can see where you're coming from. But do you mind elaborating on that? I mean, even if we do decide to go for the influence, chances are I will just invade and take them over later. Seeing as one of my stated objectives for this campaign is to become King of Ireland, we can't exactly do that if these Vikings don't submit to our will. But you're right, now might not exactly be the most ideal time for that. Don't listen to you. Yeah, you know, I just... although, that's the annoying thing with this pop-up. I wish I could temporarily close it, because I would really like to check something about our current enemies. Is Osraige... Are the guys who are attacking Osraige small enough we could also conquer them? Because if they are, then we could just polish them off easily. And, yeesh. I'm just looking at the viewer list again, and I'm not sure if it's me or Twitch, but my dashboard is being horribly inaccurate. Because it says there are 2 people watching, and yet the viewer list tells me there are 3. I would like Twitch to get its shit together for things like this. Then again, I would also like them to not count me as a viewer when I'm watching from my own dashboard, just to make sure that nothing's going wrong with the broadcast. But we can't have everything in life, I guess. So, just to make sure I'm seeing this right, you're saying ignore what you said earlier and just go for conquer them. I can do that. I mean, I was kind of leaning that way because, as Osraige is right now, we would get 2 minor settlements without the city at best, seeing as someone else besieged them first, and that's not really worth it. Just go conquer them and move south, I guess. Alright then. I will probably go for that. Once I finish dithering about and umming and ahhing over it. This is the trouble with me in Total War games. I can never make a goddamn decision. I'm always thinking, but what if I do this and something awful happens that I can't deal with? I'm always umming and ahhing back and forth, and I can never make a decision quickly. It's one of the reasons I'm so grateful the games are turn-based and that I can pause in battle, because I am awful at making quick decisions. It's just not something I can do. It just isn't. So yeah, not exactly the most glowing recommendations of my strategic abilities in this game, now is it? So, here's what we're going to do. I think, going to just go ahead and conquer them, and we'll see what happens. Control a bunch of long ports. So, we just get a mission. Let's see. Control Dublin, whatever that is. It's a bunch of names I don't recognize. Now, let's see here. Where are missions? Let's find my missions. Objectives. Missions. Ah, God. I don't even know where half of these things are. Let's see. That's one of them. That's another. So it's a bunch of stuff on our south coast that we have to control. But there doesn't seem to be a time limit to it, so I can just go forward with my original plan. And just get on that whenever I feel like it, basically. We need to research now. I'm going to get into missile units. Research for archers. And now, we'll get a unit of Eastmen Herdmen. Some more swordsmen. That once again takes all of our food. So yeah. We could have potentially moved up to the border first, and that would probably have been the better idea, but we could hit that one settlement this turn. Actually, what I'm going to do is start moving into there. It reduces our food consumption. We'll have to hit them with that army next turn. But for now, it's time to go to war. Oh. Did I misjudge that? I think I did. It's one of our southern neighbors that took that, so what we're going to do is move this army down there. We'll get one onto their border there, and then this army can take that settlement. And we can start preparing for a war with the guys we need to go after, is what we will do. So I'll take that one settlement, provided the Vikings to the south, who I just basically written off as being some irrelevant morons who we shouldn't care about. I just basically written these guys off because they were so small. But provided they don't take that minor settlement, we will grab it. So let's see what happens, shall we? Let's see what happens. A lot of Ireland at the moment is basically off doing its own thing outside our view. Did they grab it? It looks like they did. God damn it. And rebels are messing around. Okay. No, some idiot is working against me. Fine, have some money. We're basically throwing around money like it's going out of style at the moment. We're going to have to make a tactical withdrawal back into our own lands. And this army here... Let's see. That's 12 out of 20. We would like to hit their major settlement if we can. I'm going to march to there. It's just on their border. Apparently I don't have the action points to fortify. So screw it. We'll just stand on the actual border and let things happen. And now, I need to go through my settlements and see if there's anything to do. Laigin is quite nice and happy, so... I am going to take the 2 public order hit and build a mine for even more cash. And we'll also build this to upgrade... We'll upgrade that for yet more cash. Upgrade the farms. We've only just got the public order sorted in Brega, so I am not going to do the salt pans because that will put us in minus public order again, and I'd rather avoid that. But I just want to say to Green Side of Hell, you don't mind if I just call you Green, do you? Kind of rolls off the tongue a little better, if you know what I mean. I mean, just as a sort of nickname, and I'm rambling now. But thanks for turning up to this. I appreciate you watching, because it's been a while since I really streamed, so I'd probably lost a good chunk of my of what passed for a regular audience with me, as I'd not been doing this for a good long while. So I appreciate having you here. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Cattle farm done. Few of our Scottish friends are going to war. Okay. Okay, then. Let's see. That's a size 13 army. You are going to fortify for the time being. As are you. I want to wait a little bit and build up our forces a touch before we actually attack. But, I think that is going to have to be for my next... Actually, first, before I finish that, let's upgrade your scribe. As I was saying, the actual war and my future upgrading and recruiting and stuff is going to have to be for the next time I stream this game. Because I'm gonna have to end this here after I save the game. It's getting on just a little past 10:30 my time, and I gotta head out now. Oh, for real-life work reasons, this is really the best time for me to stream. And so that's why I picked it, but I have to get going. It's a good thing I started when I did, though. So, thank you very much for turning up for this. I hope to see you again for my next live stream. As you can probably see for the schedule, at the moment I'm streaming 7 days a week. I don't expect it to stay that way forever. I'm just sort of trying to encourage myself to get back into the swing of things by setting a ridiculous goal of streaming every day of the week. That said, there is something I want to address right now before I leave. Next week and this weekend, I'm going to have to shift things around a little bit, because this weekend and the few days following, I'm having some family members that are going to be over at my house, because let's see, a week from now is my dad's birthday, so they're going to be around for that. So I'm going to have to switch up the streams a little, so probably my Saturday and Sunday streams might just end up being at a different time on Thursday and Friday, or something like that. We'll see. As for the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday ones, or just Monday and Tuesday, depending on when people leave, I'm probably going to have to shift those to different times on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I hope I won't have to do this all the time, but it is going to happen this time, and I felt like I should let you know. I'll post it in the channel feed, but just in case I forget, you do have the information here. And I'm just now sort of going to go through the streams that I am doing, and so that you are aware, in case any of them interest you. So at the moment, in addition to Thrones of Britannia, tomorrow, on Tuesdays, I am streaming Surviving Mars, where I'm currently colonizing Mars, and am in the middle of the Send Robots part of it. On Wednesdays, I'm doing the Kaiserreich mod, the version for Hearts of Iron 4, where I'm playing as Russia, and as of recently, Russia has become a military dictatorship under the command of one Field Marshal Wrangel. Thursdays, I'm continuing on with Darkest Dungeon. This will be the 4th such live stream. I fail a lot in that, just so you know. I have had some catastrophic failures and had to withdraw on several missions as a result of me bumbling into something I was quite unready for. Fridays, I am playing Stellaris Apocalypse as the Terran Empire, which I give some backstory for it in one of the early streams, but it's basically a continuation of this Crusader Kings 2 AAR I did as the Huntington dynasty from York that ended up taking over the entirety of the British Isles and France. as well as a bit of Spain before I ended that due to it just being really, really boring. Then on Saturdays, I have XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, which it's XCOM 2. I don't think that needs much explanation. Then Sunday's a stream that I started very recently. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, with my fighter thief character I'm doing called Toby. He is a half-elf and a thief. But apparently I suck at lockpicking, because like half the locks in the Friendly Arm Inn he could not pick in my last session, which was also the first one. So, we're going to be continuing on with that. But one thing with the Baldur's Gate one, that stream, I set it up differently because there is basically no overlay in that, not even a webcam. Just because that is just a case of me streaming this RPG that I've really wanted to play for a long time, as in character as I can make it. So, there's a little bit less interaction, though I will check the chat regularly still. In any case, this has been DarkPhoenix, and yeah, if you're wondering about the DarkPhoenix Gaia Marius Roma thing, the short version of it is I thought I wanted to change my username on Twitch for a time and was considering something Roman themed before I thought better of it. But by the time I thought better of it, I'd already changed it, so I have to wait till the end of the week to change it to the one I actually want. That's what's going on there. And my username on YouTube right now is DarkPhoenix Gaming, so that's the one I'm going to try to get here on Twitch, if at all possible. If not, then I'll just go back to the old one I used, which was DarkPhoenix Ninja 92. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate everyone who turned up for this, and if you have at all any interest in any of my other live streams, then please try and show up for one of those. I do appreciate it. So I'm going to end this here, and also just FYI, I tend to announce my streams as well as any unannounced deviation from the schedule on Twitter. So my Twitter handle is dark_ninja92. If you want to follow me on there for announcements or just anything that doesn't really fit into the regular announcing it on the Twitch feed or in my YouTube discussion section, then you can find it there. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for my next stream or YouTube video or whatever you decide to watch next. Catch you then, folks. So long for now.